Thank you for choosing our Patio Heat channel. I'm Steve. We provide tips and information to extend the enjoyment of your patio project. Our videos give you a knowledgeable overview prior to investing in your outdoor heating equipment. Whether you are a professional or owner-builder, we provide specific details for optimum heat coverage for your application. Post a comment or question, or for developed visual designs, send your request into designs@patioheat.com. We're here to work with you. For over 30 years, patio heating is the bedrock of our business, expressing what works best. Now let's get heating. All right, so we have this covered patio section here that's being built right now, and we're going to go ahead and look at what kind of heaters we would put in here, where we would put them, and what kind of things that we need to watch out for as far as clearances, things of that nature. And let's go into the dimensions first of all. So the dimensions I have here is 14.4 center to center on these posts here, and then 14.4 over here. I have 8 foot center to center on these two posts. And then you can see we have some heights. I have a total height here of 14.7.5. I'm not 100% certain that that's true, but I believe it's close. And then we can see we have a height here of this top of this beam here. I have that at 9'8", and I have the bottom edge here at 9'5". I'm going to go ahead and mark one more mark. I thought I had it on here, but let's go to the bottom edge of this beam going across here. I have 8'8", and you can see that the total distance on the whole entire space here is 38 feet and 2 inches roughly. And then also from the edge of the house here out, I have it at 21, and you can see here we have 11 feet center to center. I think on the post it might be on the outer edge here to the post center here, and then 10'6". Some other information that I don't know that I have correctly would be the distances on these beams coming across up here on the top here. So I placed them at 4'7 3/4 from the center of this post here to the center of this beam going across here, and then 6'10" over here, and 6'10" over here. And I'm not quite sure. The plan showed 4, but I thought I spoke with this particular client and he said that there was only 3 over here, so I'm not 100% certain of that. Diameter of this fan here I have at 6 feet in diameter, and I believe he said it was 18 inches down, but I actually have it at 19 inches, so this might be wrong, but it shouldn't be a big issue with regards to where I place the heaters at this moment, and I'll show you why in just a few minutes. I have this here at 16 inches tall, this beam going across on both sides. And I think that's pretty much about it. There is a fireplace here in the center. I'm going to go ahead and turn off these dimensions here, and I'm going to go ahead and mark these as parts of the dimension there, and give you 1 second here. Sorry for this delay on this one, but all right, so yeah, we have a fireplace here. We have seating arrangements here. Now this isn't the exact type of seating arrangements that the particular client's going to use, but it's going to be close to this space that's going to be occupied. We have dining space over here, and there's going to be a future of a barbecue bar area here. I'm not quite sure if this is actually going to be seating area or not, but I'm just kind of showing that as a future part of the design possible. Also, the fan here I believe is centrally located between this point and this point. And then I think that's pretty much about it for right now. And let's see if there's anything else. I think that's about it. So we do have a couple doors that I believe are sliding doors, but it shouldn't matter if they come out because I'm going to show you where I'll be placing the heaters. And let's go ahead and look at that now. What I'm going to do is show possible. I'm going to first start with the center location here. I'm going to place 2 of the 5200 watt units here. Now the reason I'm placing the 2 5200 watt units here is because number one, we want to make sure that we're meeting the clearances below, and the clearances on the outer edge is 18 inches, 18 inches over here, as well as 18 inches below. Now, the other thing I'm going to mention is that I do have these heaters placed at the same elevation as the bottom edge of these beams, so the true 18-inch clearance is really only going to affect the true diameter of this orange colored section here of the fan. So 18 inches is where that fan blade comes out to the edge of the heater here. But we do have a 6-inch clearance above the heater, and that 6-inch clearance above the heater, you can see, is everything looks okay, with the exception of right here, where we have to make sure that we're meeting 6 inches here. Now, you can see I have nothing connected here, and that the reason why is because I'm going to use the drop-down brackets to actually mount these particular units here. And so the drop-down brackets go along the ceiling here. You would cut this portion here depending on what the true height is really going to be, and then mount these along the slope of the ceiling and line them up with the distance apart from each one of these brackets from here to here. And you can see I have 2 of the 5200 watt units here. Let's go ahead and look at now the footprint of heat and why I'm choosing the 5200 watt units, which I'm not sure if I mentioned, but they're 4 feet long and 8 inches wide, 3.5 inches tall roughly. And so let's go ahead and look at that array here. So the footprint of heat is, I think, very good for an application like this. We had talked about placing units along the side, shooting in, or maybe over here, shooting out. But this would be the best mounting position that I would recommend for this section of the patio. And you can see again, you know, meeting that clearance below, that 18 inches of clearance below the heater to that fan blade is, you know, quite important. And we're getting a nice crossover right here. So if the seating position's more, you know, in line with, you know, sitting here, not so much far out like this one and chair is here, even though this one here is, you know, halfway in the array itself. You know, the best thing to really do is to, you know, move that inside of the array itself so that you're actually feeling the warmth of the heater. But in any case, I just kind of want to show what that would look like, and I'm going to push that back and just show you another portion of the options that I'm going to be suggesting here. So and so that's the next thing I'm going to suggest, is adding a couple of more of the CD6024s for the dining space over here. You're also going to notice that I have these at different distances apart from each other. So on these 2 heaters here, I'm using the distance based on the fan diameter, but on these 2 units here, I'm using the distance based on not only the footprint of heat, but the actual height of the application itself. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get you a distance here. Let's see if I can, I'll pop it up here, and we'll go over to the center of this one. Sorry about the movement here. Sometimes it gets a little hectic, but should be okay here in just 1 second. Oops. Let's not mark that one. Let's go from here. And let's see. It's really sometimes a little bit difficult to maneuver throughout this drawing, but in any case, there we go. All right, sorry about that little delay there. And you can see, I think we have it at 8 foot center to center. Yeah, 8 foot center to center. And the reason why, like I mentioned before, the height of the application, as well as the location of the seating position here, what I wanted to do is make sure I have some overlapping rays. Now, if I was to, you know, just move this up, let's just say 12 inches higher, which I can't do because of the ceiling there, but you can see that the footprint of heat gets a little bit wider. So that's why I'm moving it closer to each other. Also, I've placed the 6,000 watt units here because I think this would be a better application for this. I think we had spoken with this particular client and spoke about possibly using the 4,000 watt unit, and I'm going to go ahead and show what that 4,000 watt unit would look like. It would look okay, and I don't see anything really wrong with that, although the installation height is it's okay, but it's not ideal. So I would rather have a little bit more intensity here if I could. There is a question about how much amperage is available for this application. So a 4,000 watt unit might be the answer to that, but I just want to also show you that these are in the same location, so 8 foot center to center on the 4,000s versus the 6,000s. But in any case, that's what the 4,000s would look like. And I also had mentioned to this particular client that we are looking at possibly using the slimline units, but I'm choosing the C series. These are the C4024s. These are the C52. These are CD5224s, and the reason I'm choosing those is because they all look the same. If I put the slimline on here, I'm going to go ahead and just pop that on here real quickly. I was looking at placing the slimlines here, and I'm going to turn this off for a minute here, but you can see that with the slimlines, they may not fit really properly in here. Now, a 4,000 watt unit would be okay, but the intensity isn't the ideal amount of intensity for this application height. And that's why I'm choosing the CD 5200s on this portion here and using the CD 5200s instead of the slimline 4000s gives me a more intense throw for the lower seating positions. And the same is true over here. These are the 4,000 watts, which is fine for most of the time, but there's going to be other times in the seasons that you're going to want a little bit more heat. So the CD62 6,000 watt rather units would be more ideal for this. Now, the last thing I should mention is the clearance is based on this height from this point here to the ceiling of 6 inches. And so you can see that here we don't have the the bracket attached here to the ceiling because you'd have to get an extension bracket, or even you could take this particular bracket here off of the unit. Let's say we'll just move it up, and we'll go to the height that I have, which isn't 100% accurate, but that's 1 1/4 inch height. And then you just mount a little piece of steel or stainless, something of that nature, through here. And that's not actually squared off, but let's just go ahead and square this off for a second. But if you just did something like this and made a bracket that would come down between the two here, and then pop a hole here, and then make that attachment point, you're not going to really notice that, from an outside point of view, as long as you use the same kind of material, stainless steel in this case here. Yeah, that's what I would do to, make that bracket the proper length for the ceiling. And the same is true on this side here as well. Let's see if I can grab this real quick. And this would be true with the 4,000 watt unit as well as the 6,000 watt unit. So what I have here, the difference that I'm showing, again, not 100% efficient or true, is a 4-inch change. So something just to think about is to come up with your own bracket for that particular portion of the mounting on this application here. So all right, so these are the 6,000s, these are the 5200s. Would I go 4,000 watt unit over here? You could, but it's not 100%. But yeah, that's that. And then let me see if I can find one more option over here for the future. I think we're talking about possibly utilizing a 3,000 watt unit for the standing position in a stove, or excuse me, the bar cooking counter area here. Now the footprint of heat is not as wide as the 4,000. I do have them in the same location as this heater here. And I didn't mention this before, but these heaters, I tried to make it, you know, kind of look proper by placing it between this point here and this point here. So that's center to center. And then, you know, the center location of the fan, that 8 foot. So it'd be from the center of the fan, 4 foot left, 4 foot right. And that would match up with this one as well. So from this point here to this point here would be the center of the heater. And I'm following that outside position. You can see that, you know, these are over here a little bit further apart. That's because of the fan itself. So, but this would be a very practical application here. You can see that, you know, you're not in that ray 100%. And I should also mention that this is infrared light wave. So infrared light wave is kind of like the sun. You can see the sun's hitting the building. There's a shadow over here. If you're standing in the shadow, you don't feel the sunlight. If you're standing over here, you feel the sunlight. But the air temperature from here to here does not change, and that's the same thing that same way that the infrared light waves work. So infrared heats mass. It does not heat air. And as long as you're in that ray of light, you will feel that warmth hitting the mass of your body, chairs, tables, floors, and that makes it very comfortable out there. So I think that's just about it. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted to look at. I think that's it. So I hope this is efficient for this particular client, and I really thank you all for, you know, giving us the opportunity to serve you. Yeah, that's about it. And so if you're looking for some assistance with your outdoor heating application and you would like us to review your plans, send your information into designs@patioheat.com. And please, if you would, just hit that like button. We don't advertise, we're not monetized. YouTube will not support our channel unless we receive thumbs up from our viewers, and we really appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much. Have an excellent day.